Okay, midweek Wednesday, Longshore McKnight. Glad you are with us here today. A lot to discuss. I'm in network control. As you can see, Barry has a hat on. That means he's probably with Troy basketball. And I believe not Monroe yet, San Marcos, Texas, I believe.
Yes. Monroe is next week. So, for those of you who are keeping up with my high-flying travel schedule, it's Hattiesburg later this week, and then it's Monroe, and then it's Mobile next week. So, it's part of the jet set lifestyle that I live in. Troy men's basketball tonight. The Trojans will take on Texas State. The first place Troy Trojans, by the way. Texas State tonight at 7 o'clock on ESPN, and I'll have the radio call. It was not a good night last night, again, at Neville Arena.
Whoa, wait a minute. Depends on how you look at it.
Well, did they cover? I don't know. For the
I think the Butler County Commodore Club was pretty happy about it.
I imagine they were. Gurn Jr., all of that. The Tigers of Auburn, the men's basketball program, they have lost 3 straight now.
Ooh,
there's a couple of streaks involved here. Last night at Neville Arena. Auburn has now lost 3 in a row. For the first time in 5 years, Auburn has lost 2 straight home games. They never used to lose at home.
I mean, it's been like Beard East was the last time they lost 2 in a row, wasn't it?
No, it's been well, it was before Neville Arena. It was back when it was just Auburn Arena. And for all of you Butler County Commodore Club members, for the first time since you've been traveling up from Butler County to watch Vanderbilt and Auburn, for the first time in 10 years, the Commodores win in Auburn. So this is what Auburn loses 3 straight. They've lost 2 straight at home, first time in 5 years, and you're losing to Vanderbilt in Auburn for the first time in 10 years, and your pets' heads are falling off. It's total anarchy right now. Vanderbilt goes in, and it was the nature of the game. I mean, Auburn, late comeback. Again, they scored pretty well in the second half. I think they scored 45 in the second half.
Got that going for them. Whoa.
But it never really, I mean, Vanderbilt, I guess the verb to use, John, Vanderbilt controlled that game. And they're playing without Duke Miles, who's a very good guard that, used to play at Troy's from Montgomery, one of the best guards, playing without him. And Vanderbilt just handled it. It was never totally like, oh boy, here we go.
I mean, I'm thinking about, Vanderbilt and Auburn football and a couple of baseball games, and now you're mixing in basketball. I'm thinking, woof, what is going on with this Commodore Tiger rivalry? Well, matchup, I wouldn't really call it a rivalry.
I wouldn't call it a rivalry.
Barry, games like this, as they play out, as you kind of get a feel for them, you kind of start thinking to yourself, could be a little driveway time today. Could be coming. I got to admit, I took the trash out. So I said, might as well, get in the car and crank it on up and see what's happening. I've heard better. I will say that. I mean, it wasn't some of the epic moments that I've heard during the broadcast, but you could sense the frustration, I guess would be a good word. And that shows you a great radio guy when you can feel his frustration.
You can also feel his enthusiasm.
Yes.
When things are going well,
Yes, that's true. That, to be fair, yes, that's true.
John doesn't want to. John is not a patient man. I would not characterize him as a man just oozing patience. If he's listening to a radio broadcast, whether in his car in the driveway because he doesn't own a radio, or coming back from T-Town and a good time with the fellas, fratting it up beforehand with Linda Carlisle and Alex Rodriguez and all that. And hey, let's see what the Aubs are doing when you're hitting down, Highway 82 back home.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
John didn't want to sit here and wait 10 minutes. Hey, what's the score, man? I know the Auburn just ran a smoke draw and Auburn just ran a bubble screen. Can you tell me the score? John, these days, what he likes is to be able to tell, hey, man, he hadn't given the score yet. Oh, yeah, but it ain't going well for Auburn. How can you tell? I can tell.
I know. Yeah, I don't even need to know what the score is. I can tell how this game's playing out.
And,
and there again, the enthusiasm and the frustration, those are great words. You're right. I can certainly feel it now. His color analyst, I can't feel much there. I don't know how to describe that. But anyway, it was another tough night.
Super
for the
nice
Tigers.
Guy.
And I believe they head to Arkansas next. Ooh, ow.
Yeah, that's Saturday night, 7:30. Arkansas is, ranked top 25. Yikes. Ugh. So it is, and they're 5-6 in the league. Auburn is 5-6, and I'll go ahead and throw you a bone here. Auburn's best player, Pettiford played well again. I thought. I mean, he shot it well. Todd Pettiford played well, but Auburn's best player, the guy who's been really, really good this year, more than anybody else, is Keyshawn Hall.
Yeah.
The transfer from UCF. Hall's averaging about 21 points a game this year. Really good. Might be leading the league in scoring. I hadn't checked. But he didn't play in the final 12 minutes. He's over there on the bench. They're making not a huge to-do about it on TV, but they're like, Auburn's trying to get back into this when they got their 21 points a game guy sitting on the bench. I wonder what. After
Attitude
the game.
Issues?
After the game, Auburn coach Stephen Pearl was asked, hey, why didn't your best player play in the last 12 minutes of the game? Again, 21 points a game for Keyshawn Hall. Read into it what you want. This is where I need John to put on his read between the lines glasses.
Yeah.
You got to dust them off since the passing of Philip.
Still tough.
Stephen Pearl was asked, hey, coach, why didn't you play your best player in the last 12 minutes with the game contested? Stephen Pearl says it was a coach's decision.
Oh, yeah.
Meaning he wasn't hurt.
Yeah.
Anything like that. Quote, I wanted to go with the group that I thought was going to get us back in the game. End quote.
Barry, there's a lot you can read into
leave
that.
It with John to give us, the non-closed captioned translation of all that.
The first thing that comes to mind is maybe, said something to the coach or coaching staff that he shouldn't have said, attitude issue, maybe not hustling 100%, half-assing it, I guess is a way to put it.
John usually likes to bring up maybe arguing with an assistant coach on the sidelines. Maybe arguing with his wide receiver. I mean, his point guard, somebody on the sidelines.
Maybe something was said at halftime that didn't go over real well.
It's open for conjecture.
Yeah. Find that interesting. Unfortunately, that's the first I've heard of it, Barry, because I was actually focusing in more on the Vanderbilt players who seem to be playing better most of the game.
Better,
and then once I got into the driveway and turned on the radio, mysteriously that didn't come up. So I was unaware of that.
Yeah. So, I mean, as of right this moment, as of right now, Auburn has lost 3 straight men's basketball games. Right now in the league standings, Alabama plays tonight. A lot of there's only 2 SEC games last night, so the league standings at the moment are kind of incomplete because not everybody's played. Auburn right now is at 5-6, ahead of Ole Miss, Mississippi State, South Carolina, LSU, and Oklahoma. Behind Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia's hit the skid, man. They are like a 10-point dog at home tonight. What's happening over in Athens? I saw that spread and I went, whoa.
Yeah. So Auburn is playing themselves off of the bubble right now. They're 14-10 overall. They have played the fourth most difficult schedule, fourth or fifth most difficult schedule in the country. If it comes down to it, does Auburn make a case to the selection committee, say, hey, one of those losses was against a team that had an ineligible player. Can you cut us a break here? Or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's interesting, Barry. If you're gonna hear that, is this just gonna die down? And is it one of these scenarios like, okay, that we've gotten this taken care of? Let's just move on. Act like, just don't look. Let's just move on. Or are people going to start digging it up and going, wait a minute? We're right here on the bubble, and that could really get us, in a better position or get us in the tournament or whatever. I hear what you're saying. I'll be interested to see if that does come up, or is this just, we got this taken care of. Y'all keep quiet.
Yeah. We're not asking for the win because, you can't make the logical point that, hey, they would have won if it wasn't for Bediako. But can you just not pay attention to that loss or something like? Can you give us a break here? Also, Texas A&M, they play tonight at home against Missouri. A&M's kind of a free fall.
Yeah.
Bucky McMillan, the head coach, was asked about how, and Texas A&M right now, they're kind of in a little bit of a free fall, although they're 17-6. They've lost a couple, including one to Alabama. And, Bediako is no longer eligible. His college career is over. And somebody says, does that make it right for you? Are you okay with that, Bucky? And Bucky says, how is it made right for us? Because they're not going to be able to play with their full roster against the other teams, and we had to play against their full roster. So Bucky is right now, it sounds like he's saying, heck yeah, if we're on the bubble, I'm telling everybody, hey, you shouldn't count that loss to Alabama against us because they played with a guy they shouldn't have had on the team. So you're going to start hearing all that.
I think so too.
And if I'm Auburn, I would at least mention it. But the number one best thing to do for Auburn, start winning some games.
Yeah, now, Barry, is it too early? Are we getting ahead of ourselves if we go, kind of looking like NIT? I don't know. Do they say thanks but no thanks, or can they rally starting in Fayetteville Saturday night to kind of get the ship headed in the right direction?
I think I think they can. I don't buy into all of this. Well, that they've got what they need. They maybe, need another a little bit more depth at point guard, but you can't go out and get somebody out of the G League anymore. No. You've got to, you've got to play with who you've got. So they've got to make some adjustments, but man, their main things that they've got in their favor, playing a tough league, and they got the fourth most difficult schedule in the country. Alabama's got the second most difficult schedule in the country, and they do have a couple of big wins. But you know what? You got to keep winning. You got to, this stretch for Auburn, a win against Arkansas. I mean, they could do it, but it's getting to be all right. Let's stop the putzing around here. Let's get us a victory here. And losing 2 in a row at Neville Arena, that just simply is not done.
Well, it's been a while. Barry, when I do watch the games, I'm watching a multitude of things, just not the action on the floor. I did see a smattering of empty seats.
Smattering.
A larger smattering than I saw the last time I was checking it out. Even floor seats were empty last night.
Wait a minute. They're on the verge of graduating from a smattering of empty seats to a plethora.
Yeah. I don't want to go that far.
No, just smattering right now. A larger smattering.
Still a smattering of empty seats.
But getting close to a plethora.
Yeah.
Out there. But, still time to get things going. They're playing hard and all that. But I got to tell you, and I don't know, but having your leading scorer on the bench for the last 12 minutes because it was a coach's decision, that leaves the door open for rampant conjecture by the fan base and the media as to,
well, Barry, I have not
wonder what
gone
that's
to,
all about.
I have not gone to Auburn message board to see if I can get more information on this young man's lack of playing time last night. But it's probably on Tider Insider, so I'll check it out during the break.
Right at the very top. Crimson Tide plays tonight at Ole Miss. Alabama 7.5, 8-point favorite in that game. That's at 6 tonight on the SEC network. Noah Williamson, the 6'11" transfer from, I think he's from Latvia or something like that.
Where?
His name's Noah Williamson, and he is from one of the Baltic countries. To the west of Russia. I got to go. He may get some playing time, and we'll see how the Crimson Tide reacts on the road. Ole Miss isn't very good, but they're tough. One of several games in the SEC and one of several topics we'll discuss on our 2-hour cornucopia, our sports cavalcade here. I am in San Marcos, Texas. Troy basketball tonight at 7 against Texas State. John is in his main home studio. We are glad you're along as we broadcast Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Valentine's means Marguerite's, and Marguerite's has everything the special person in your life wants. Rings, bracelets, necklaces, earrings, pendants, and all shapes and sizes of diamonds. They have special gifts that will bring happiness and joy for decades and decades. For your convenience, Marguerite's is open 7 days a week. So drop by and pick out a gift that will surprise the Valentines in your life. Marguerite's is located at 8163 Vaughan Road in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli. At Marguerite's, they make it. They really make it. Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
This isn't going to work. No matter what we say, some people still drive drunk. But we're Budweiser. Giving a damn is what we do. So, if you think it's okay to drive drunk, if you think it's something that's debatable, or you just simply don't care, this Bud is not for you. Give a damn. Don't drive drunk. Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Prattville Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk, stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Prattville Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117, or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet. Okay, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you're with us here about 19 minutes past the hour. Hey, Valentine's is this Saturday. Don't do something bad.
Don't screw it up is what he's telling you.
Yeah, just, you don't want this to happen. So let's go ahead and take care of it for that Valentine in your life. And Marguerite's is the place to go. Extended hours this Friday and Saturday. That's right, opening early for your convenience, 8 a.m. till the last customer is served, usually around 5:30, 6 p.m. But go by and see them. They're open 7 days a week, but Valentine's is Saturday. So you need to take care of this before Saturday, but even if you do it on Saturday, they're open early for you. You wake up Saturday morning, your loved one's still asleep. You're thinking to yourself, ooh, I have not done anything. Tell her you're going to get some donuts or something for breakfast, but slide by Marguerite's at 8 a.m. to get that Valentine present. So when you come back home with that Egg McMuffin or whatever you picked up, you got the nice Marguerite's gift as well. I wouldn't suggest that, but if you get yourself in a pickle, they're there for you. They always are. Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, open 7 days a week, but Friday and Saturday, they're open early at 8 a.m.
In Montgomery, real convenient, 8163 Vaughan Road at Pepper Tree, right next to Chappie's Deli. I cringe at the thought, even in my mind's eye, when you show up with the Walgreens candy box.
Come on. Yeah.
Or with a card that's got the DG sticker on the back or something,
Hey, DG does have good cards. I'll give them that.
They do, for their credit. Yeah. But and there's nothing wrong with that with your Marguerite's gift. But a card ain't enough for Valentine's Day.
It is not.
You might as well go knock on the door of the monastery for the next 3 months because you're all going to be in the same boat for a good long while if you don't handle business.
My wife just brought me a new fresh cup of coffee, and she laid it down here on my broadcast area.
Right.
And I was doing the Marguerites, telling everybody about Marguerites and the extended hours. I just happened to look over at her, and she kind of smiled at me like, you need to be there. Yeah, make sure you go by there. Didn't say anything, but I could see it on her face. You better be going by Marguerites this week.
Unfortunately, it'll be 17 million years before she'll agree to stick her head into the camera frame and say hello to everybody at 7:22 in the morning.
I might have to get her to do that one day.
Good luck with that, because my wife wouldn't do it on a bet.
I can get my daughter to do it, who's looking forward to being back on the air with us, Barry, to reveal her Final Four selection for the NCAA tournament.
She was incredible. I mean, not regionally incredible. She was nationally renowned last year for it. So, we may have to get her on beforehand so we can start working on some of our picks as well. Now, in the world of sports that we live in, he's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. We've worked forever and ever together. We like to address the tough issues, the tough questions. The program's doing so well. So, once again, this crops up from our buddy Way Offsides, Jeff. We're on from 7 to 9 live Central Time every day and on loop throughout the day. Way Offside says a third hour seems all but imminent.
Wait a minute. Do you know something we don't know, Jeff?
Bama Pride says many have been banging on that drum. Make it so, Captain Kirk. Plainsman Preston. Yeah, with a third hour, we could have Josh Harris on several times a week. I don't know that we can have Josh Harris on enough.
Yeah. Theotis, that's at 8 a.m. today. That's in like 40 minutes.
Your ship is coming in.
Yeah, CJ Duncan at the bottom of the hour, Josh Harris at 8 a.m. today.
My only issue with third hour with me is that his time. I don't know, but it may. I don't know, Barry. I don't know where these.
I don't want to say rumors. That's a little harsh. I don't know where this information sprouted from. Way Offsides, Jeff. And who else was it? Bama Pride.
Yeah.
Are our meeting rooms bugged? Anyway, stay tuned. I'll just leave it at that.
So
to go any further than that, they're
working on it.
Discussed.
Yes. Here's the content of the show. A lot of times, And it drives me crazy that this is becoming. This has always been kind of a thing. This is part of the content of our show, what we bring you, and this is one of those. It turns out John was right, kind of a deal. Drives me nuts because it's the same thing with the college football playoff. It's we can just It turns out John's banging on. Got to do this. Got to do it. Turns out he was right
again.
Oh
wow.
We say goodbye with heavy hearts this morning to the fabled Motor City Bowl in Ford Field in Detroit. It originally debuted when Longshore and McKnight, when John and Barry debuted, 1997.
As the
Motor City Bowl.
What was it? Not the Cherry Bowl?
Well, yeah. I guess it was the original. It was a different entity, but they used to have a bowl game in Detroit called the Cherry Bowl. I ain't got slightest idea what cherries have to do with Detroit.
Do they grow cherries in Michigan?
I don't know. I don't know. Was it named after Nina Cherry, who I think was the one who sang Buffalo Stance? I could be. Maybe she's from. I don't know. But the current iteration began in 1997 as the Motor City Bowl.
Okay.
And immediately John and I, although we were new together, we were like, who on God's green earth wants to go to Detroit, Michigan in late December for a bowl game for a reward? And I didn't have an answer for it.
Yeah. Barry, I want to say who wants to go to Detroit any time of the year?
Unless you're changing planes or something.
Yeah.
The Motor City Bowl. The Motor City Bowl, it was a Mac and somebody. I don't know. Then they changed their name to the Little Caesars Pizza Bowl, and then to the Quick Lane Bowl, and then year before last, to the Game Above Sports Bowl. And 29 years at Ford Field, and it all started. The Cherry Bowl used to be in the Pontiac Silverdome.
Yep.
Remember, which John insists that he's actually been to before.
Barry, I saw Vanderbilt play Kansas in an NCAA basketball game.
It doesn't
in the Silverdome, and
doesn't exist anymore.
Was it Danny Manning that played for Kansas?
Oh, you're talking basketball? Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Danny Manning played for Kansas. Larry Brown was the head coach. It's no longer there, and now after 29 years. Neither is that Detroit Bowl anymore. John, it becomes the third bowl game to be canceled in the past year. It turns out, John, for all these years, and I'm a big minor bowl game guy, serve them up, have them all. If you don't like it, you ain't got to watch it. And John keeps saying, I won't. But there are three. There's no more Motor City Bowl. Now there's no more L.A. Bowl brought to you by Gronk or Snoop Dogg or Jimmy Kimmel or something like that at SoFi. The L.A. Bowl, gone. The Bahamas Bowl at that little soccer stadium in Nassau, it's gone. That's three in the past year. So what John is saying about, if we have too many of them, and I keep saying, well, let the law of supply and demand, let the American capitalist system work. If it does not making any money, they'll get, it'll go away. And that's what's happening now. The advent of the college football playoff, you're starting to see a little bit more of these things just saying, I'm just thinking, we might as well what do you say we just close this thing up?
Well,
and it's happening more and more and more.
Barry, I'm not giddy or happy about
gloating. There's no gloating about it. Turns out John seems to be right again.
I don't want to see anybody, I don't want to see, a business or an operation or a thing like this, struggle and not be able to continue. But I'm guilty. I didn't watch these games. I didn't make a plan to make sure I watched them. If they were on, I might casually take a look at them. I think bowl games on a Tuesday at 1:30 in the afternoon are not a good idea, but they don't ask me. But Barry, I think this is a perfect example of things that are going to come up over the months and years, and we're going to reflect back on Philip Marshall because Philip loved these games, and he let it be known. He loves bowl games, and if you don't like it, too bad. Bowl games are what makes college football, and kids get to play and experience it and go someplace they've never been. And okay, maybe they're playing in front of 4,000 people, but hey, at least they get to go.
It's like a field trip, you know? I mean, you see all the time at the Montgomery Zoo, kids from Bellingrath and from the Head Element and from all over, hey, look. And I mean all over Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, little kids running. Hey, wow, look at this. Hey, do you want to hold my hand? We'll walk together and all that. That's what the bowl games were for a lot of those out there. John's like, send those kids back home.
Like our man Tobias, he's got a great point.
He said, man, they could create the Longshore McKnight Bowl, and John wouldn't show up. John be like, really? At the best, John would show up like 2 minutes before kickoff. Hey, what's going on? Already have the national anthem? Good. Here we go.
I mean, did Gronk his bowl?
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of wonder. Yeah. I did see Snoop Dogg at his bowl because he caught like a pass or a kickoff or something. He was standing in the back of the end zone or something like that. But,
Snoop's at the Olympics right now.
I don't want to harp on this and beat my chest and tell everybody how wonderful and great it is that these bowls are folding. But
you said so. John said so. And it's all
I think that's kind of what's happening here.
It's all business. Now, John mentioned again the late great Pontiac Silverdome.
Yeah.
The Lions played there. Barry Sanders played the majority of his career there. And I did not. This was back in the day when the NCAA tournament used to play games in football stadiums.
Correct.
John and I covered the SEC basketball tournament one year when it was at the Georgia Dome, and it was weird in there.
Yeah, not a good place for basketball.
Not a good spot and everything. John mentioned that he went to go see in the Pontiac Silverdome, Vanderbilt in Kansas.
Correct.
Plainsman Preston says this. That's code for Gurn Sr. bought John's ticket.
That is true. That is true.
It's absolutely the biggest codlock of the entire show. Is that you think John's paying to go to it?
And I will say this. I mean, I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth, Barry, but they weren't very good tickets. Our seats were like in the corner of the upper deck.
Yeah.
But hey, I appreciate it. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Oh, bad form. John's like, it could have been better, my free tickets and my doubtlessly free transportation.
I think I made the comment like, which one's Kansas and which one's Vanderbilt? I'm having a hard time distinguishing from this distance.
Should have brought some binoculars. Well, so another thing that John is right about, or is turning out to be right, it's still an ongoing situation. Lots more still to come.
CJ Duncan's going to join us here in just a moment. Getting a link sent to CJ, and he's going to hop on with us as he does each and every Wednesday. Josh Harris as well at 8 to Theotis. So I don't want you to miss Josh. He's at 8 this morning.
Yeah, he says he's jumping in the shower at 8, Theotis.
Well, you can still watch in the shower. I mean,
absolutely, or at least listen. It's Longshore and McKnight. It is our Wednesday show. John is in the home studio. I am in San Marcos, Texas. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by
Ram Truck Month is here at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. New Rams, 19 grand off or 0% for 6 years. And heavy duties, 14 grand off. Backed by Ram's 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Only at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. The President's Day sales event is on at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. Grand Cherokees under 27 grand or up to 15 grand off. Wranglers, 14 grand off. And Gladiators, 16 grand off. Only at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Love is in the air, and so is your chance to win during Victoryland Casino's BMW and 25K giveaway. Drive away in a brand new BMW or win your share of $25,000 in free play. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Stop by the Players Club and fall in love with this month's exciting free play promotions. There's more ways to win at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino is located off I-85, exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings February 27th and 28th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Hey, folks, how often do you think about your roof? Probably not often at all. I know I didn't until I needed a roof replacement. And I call my friends at Roof Life. Whether it's roof inspections, roof repair, or insurance roof replacement, Roof Life is there for you. They use the highest quality products, top quality craftsmanship, and if you're like me, your roof can be replaced in one day. So if you're in need of a roof inspection, roof repair, or insurance roof replacement, get in touch with my friends at Roof Life today. You can go to roofyourlife.com. That's roofyourlife.com, or dial them up locally at 334-306-6712. That's 334-306-6712.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Bush. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has F-150s over 16 grand off plus 2.9%. And your last chance for a tax credit on Lightnings. 17 grand in savings or 0% or $349 a month with zero down.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has Broncos under 35 grand. Bronco Sports under 24 grand. Rockies under 29 grand or $299 a month with zero down. And new Explorers 10 grand off or 2.9%.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Ford.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. About 23 minutes to the top of the hour. CJ Duncan going to join us here, momentarily here on the program on this Wednesday. You know, Bear, talked about Auburn's loss last night. Probably time to move on. You don't need to harp on that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It looks like John is,
Yeah.
I mean, he's familiar background. Is it,
Yeah.
Don't want to talk anymore about Auburn's loss? Time to move on?
Time to move on. Well, I mean, we can rehash. That's not a good word. We can explore it again later in the program.
Okay.
But this caught me during the break.
All right.
You had kind of mentioned that Alabama playing Ole Miss tonight.
Yeah.
I believe this is like Ole Miss's first game back in Oxford in a while. I did not realize, Barry, they've lost 5 in a row.
Yeah. Chris Beard ain't happy. We mentioned the other day on the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel how he was ticked off. He got thrown out of a game, and he was hot. And then before he walked off, he ran across the court to talk to his team one more time and screaming and yelling, you tell these whatevers, and then he walked off and everything. Chris Beard's a great coach. He is he's coached in the Final Four. He's coached in the national championship game before at another school, but it's not their year this year. And they've had a little bit of difficulty lately. Alabama's a 7.5, 8 point favorite.
Yeah, that's a big on the road in the SEC where it's tough. I get it. 5 in a row in the league, and you're 7.5 point dog
to a team that just lost their difference maker guard and all that. So forward. So Yeah, that's tough. There's several of them that we're going to inspect in just a little while. While we have the time, and we always value the time,
Yep.
we'll bring in CJ Duncan for his regular visit. Again, this is another one of those shows where John's the only one actually doing it from his regular studio. Me and CJ are in hotel rooms.
Are you in D.C. again, CJ?
No, I'm actually down in Montgomery for legislative session.
Oh,
I'm here for,
no
here
kidding.
for a night, but headed back this afternoon.
CJ's calendar has got his desk calendar's got to look like War and Peace. I can't imagine how that happens.
Somebody's got to pay the bills.
Yes.
All right. First of all, let's talk about the Super Bowl. I termed it the other day, and I want to know what you think about it. It was the most dominant 16-point win I've seen in a long time. Seattle beats New England. It never felt like New England was able to get out from Seattle's headlock the whole game. How did you see it, CJ?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. They were just never able to kickstart the offense. Defensively, I thought they played pretty well for several quarters, especially if you're looking at how often the defense was on the field. I thought that they did a pretty good job defensively, that being the Patriots, but offensively, they couldn't help their defense out. And, Marcus Jones is usually a playmaker that you like to see on special teams. He was never able to get loose and kind of give them a spark. They didn't really get going to the fourth quarter when basically the game was over.
Yeah.
But it's really easy right now to kind of pick on the young fella at quarterback, Drake. Second year, but there was a lot of guys who didn't play well in that game for New England, and they'll go back and be very disappointed and kind of wish they had made more of the opportunity that they had. Offensive line, that whole left side, those guys got to go back and reevaluate what exactly they're doing and what they want to do for a living, because that was not pretty. It just was not pretty. When a defense is able to rush four guys, sit back in two safety, play zone, and still get a pass rush or still have legitimate run stoppability, you're in trouble. There's not a whole lot many quarterbacks can do with that. And so Patriots couldn't get him out of that zone. They were able to get home with four pass rushers. That's a really bad sign for the rest of the game.
CJ, I thought I was watching the Alabama offensive line at times during that game on Sunday.
Oh, bro.
You know what? It was.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
It was rough. It was really rough. And like I said, that Drake, of course, looked nervous at times, and the pressure, definitely got to him. But I tell you what, they didn't do him any favors. At one point, I saw a nose tackle literally walk the center back to Drake and grab him with his left hand and place him on the ground. Yeah. So that's not great.
Well, just doing the math on this, because somebody asked me this, and I figured I'd ask you to explain it or not. You mentioned that Seattle was able to get home with rushing four. Chris Collinsworth says you cannot win the game if they can pressure your quarterback with just a four-man rush.
Mm-hmm.
Mathematically, why is that? Why is that such a big deal?
Well, it makes it more difficult on the quarterback, right? So they have an extra man in coverage because they're not having to use that guy for the rush. They have an extra man in coverage, and so that means they've also picked up on your tendencies throughout the week. So that extra guy is probably sitting in an area of a zone that you usually like to go to, kind of where your comfort zone is. Maybe that's Hunter Henry, maybe that's Stephon Diggs. You got extra eyes on those guys right there. Or if it were the other way around, if it were the Patriots doing the same thing, maybe they put an extra guy on JSN and have Gonzo on the other side kind of locking up Cooper Kupp. But if you're able to get home with four guys, it gives you more coverage ability, and then you can get very sneaky with it, for lack of better words. We saw Witherspoon have a couple sacks coming from the slot corner position. Because you're able to rush with four, Witherspoon looks like he's in coverage. When Drake snaps the ball, he thinks Witherspoon's in coverage, and then boom, here comes a blitz off the edge, and it blows up the whole play.
Nobody there.
So you can get a lot more creative when your guys up front are completely, utterly dominating the other side of the it gives the defensive coordinator all the confidence in the world. He opens up his playbook. It goes from this big to probably this big because of what they're able to do.
All right, so this falls into this, in my mind, in the same category of, I'll use this as an example. A running back that rushes for 1,200 yards, but every defense he faced was terrible. All I hear about is, Seattle's got the best defense I've ever seen. They're great. They're wonderful. Is that true, or were they going up against teams that weren't very good, a la the Patriots' offensive line?
You know what? I think that I won't say they're the best I've ever seen. I won't go that far, but I do think this was a really good defense. I think that they had the perfect mixture of veteran players and young players. Were they susceptible to being beat at times in the secondary? Yes. The Patriots never did, put any real pressure on them, but we saw the game before against LA. Matthew Stafford didn't have too many troubles with the Seattle Seahawks. Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, their tight ends, Kyron Williams, those guys played super well versus Seattle. So that's one reason that I kind of went the New England route for this game, was because I said, look, I hope it's a close game. I hope it's slowed down. Both defenses play well, but there are some holes in the secondary if you can get there, right? New England just wasn't able to get there because of the pass rush. So in lack of a run game. So I won't say this is the best defense I've ever seen, but I tell you what, I'll butcher his name, but number 3 for the defense with Seattle, the rookie out of South Carolina, that kid's going to be an all-pro next year. And then Witherspoon also, he's a future all-pro. And then Julian Love, he came from, where did he play? I think he may have been with the Indianapolis Colts before, but he's a good veteran safety as well. So they've got nice pieces. DeMarcus Lawrence spent his whole career in Dallas and then leaves very next year. He wins a Super Bowl with Seattle. Those are guys that kind of really make your defense special. And this year they had a special defense. I put them and Houston kind of right there together as top in the league.
I'll give a crack at it. It's Emmanuel.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, from South Carolina.
That's a lot better than I would have done.
Well, they had to call his name a whole lot. That's for sure.
Yeah. He's a special player.
Yeah, no kidding. Strong and he physical, everything you like. Did things work out the way they should have with the Tuscaloosa judge and Charles Bediako? Throwing that out and ending the appeal.
You know what? I think this is kind of what we've been talking about for, I guess, some months or a year now. It's, at some point, whether you like it or you don't like it, you love NIL, you don't love NIL, you love portal, don't love it. At some point, the guardrails have to go up. And we have to have some kind of standard. There's a lot of just patchwork things that are going on.
Right.
And I would hate for this to still be a thing or legal in a sense when football comes back around, right? The guys, maybe he's running the combine. He's had an agent. He's done all this kind of stuff. He's been on practice squad. Now you're saying he can come back and play for the University of Alabama. I don't know. I mean, that doesn't feel right, and so I do appreciate the judge kind of saying, all right, look, we're going too far. I mean, I hear all the sentimental things and he just wants to get his degree, but that's the decision we've all had to make, you know, and so it's hard to have empathy for that because we've all done it. And that's the decision you made. You decided money over degree. And so we all have to live with our decisions and lay in the bed that we made. So I kind of appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been the talk of the basketball world. I'm kind of glad that it's we're done with it. We can move on. I do think though, CJ, and I believe that if the ruling had gone in favor of Charles Bediako, we would have been talking about all the other schools that are bringing in athletes that had played pro ball.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. I think the floodgates would have definitely come open right there.
Yeah. I wanted to go back to the Seahawks quickly before we move on. We talked a lot about their defense, CJ. What about their offense? Their former offensive coordinator is now at Alabama, and he got fired because they weren't any good offensively, and looks like they're pretty good now. Made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, you know what? Now the offensive coordinator that won a Super Bowl is with the Las Vegas Raiders. He gets himself a head coaching job.
Yeah,
so, it's starting to kind of show its head a little bit there. But man, that offense is awesome. It's one that I would have enjoyed playing in. JSN, he's a special player, and it's not because he's faster than anybody or bigger than anybody.
Yeah.
He's just a football player. He's tough as nails, runs extremely precise routes, and he's just got a high IQ. He knows when to slow it down to speed it up, knows how to use his hands as a receiver. That's the kind of tape you put on. You don't put on Puka Nacua or Debo Samuels or some of these other. You don't put those guys on to teach a guy to play receiver. You put on JSN because those guys, they're just different. They are successful because they are just different athletes. But this is the guy you want to teach others how to play receiver. And then Kenneth Walker played excellent out of Michigan State, also from Memphis, Tennessee. He, of course, Super Bowl MVP, but he's been playing well all year. I think a lot of people were concerned when the backup running back went down, and he said, "Hey, I've got this under control." That's why we've been sharing carries, but so I can have this energy late in the season and late in games. So, and then Sam Darnold. My wife was actually at USC at one point, her first couple of years of college, and Sam Darnold was the quarterback. So we had a little connection there. And that was prior to her moving back to Auburn, but happy for him. He seems like a really good guy. Incredible story. And you know what? I expect Seattle to be back. I really do.
Yeah.
Maybe not the Super Bowl, but at least the divisional round or NFC championship. They'll be right in the mix for sure again next year.
To me, the Darnold thing, CJ, is kind of proof positive of something you've talked about and I've agreed with. The NFL is all about fit, right? He finally Minnesota last year and now Seattle. He really did his homework and he found a place instead of Carolina or the Jets or whoever. He found the right situation for him, and that can mean everything, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's like any other relationship in your life. If you're surrounded by toxicity, you don't always perform at your best. But, if you are in a place where you are accepted, you're believed in, you're supported, you're going to thrive. You're going to maximize your potential. And that is what you see. He's finally in a non-toxic environment in Seattle where they truly do. They invested in him and they support him, believe that he's a great quarterback. And now he's playing to his best ability. And it's good to see. But you're exactly right. The NFL, it's about timing and opportunity. If you're in the right place at the right time, 9 times out of 10, if you're successful in college, you'll probably be successful in the league. But it's not always promised that you're in the right place.
Yeah, well, it's a sad day, though, CJ, because now we said it after the college football national championship game. We said it Monday after the Super Bowl. Football's over. We got to go through several months of some dry spells before we get back to the football. But I got to think basketball is going to be interesting, the NCAA tournament. I'm looking forward to that. I think that could be a lot of excitement over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, I would imagine so. Matter of fact, I went to my first game of the year last night. My parents and I went to Auburn, to Neville Arena, to watch Vanderbilt play. And so the Doors got a big win on the road, and I was happy to see that. My parents not so much so, but it was a fun time.
Yeah, so how does that go? I mean, is there a little inter-family ribbing going on there?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely house divided. And I told my parents last night that the Commodores are getting really comfortable in Auburn, Alabama. I don't know the last time we lost a game down here. So so
it's funny, CJ. I kind of touched on that a little bit earlier in the show today.
You did, yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're getting real comfy. We may have to set up shop or something. Get our own, but no, it's fun. It's all in good fun, and Of course, mom is still a huge Auburn fan as a former graduate, and dad has gotten on board now. He graduated from Alabama State, but he's just as big of an Auburn guy now. So it's good to poke at them while we're hot, at least, because they've had the upper hand for a while.
Final question, just as a reminder to our viewers and listeners, in just a minute or two that we've got left with you here. Most of the roster building is done. Almost all of the roster building is done in college football right now. You've still got a little bit of time before spring practice begins. This is the time that nobody sees, that you've told us before, is really where you kind of build your team right now. What's going on right now in college football halls?
No, this is the opportunity. This is probably the hardest time of the year because your class schedule is actually probably as packed as it's ever been, because you don't want to take too many hours during season. So not only do you have that, and depending on what school you're at, you're probably doing morning workouts right now too. You're probably up at 6 a.m. every morning working out, doing strength and conditioning, and then skills and drills at some point later in that afternoon. So this is the worst part of the year. Matter of fact, you can't wait for spring practice. You're like, we got to have practice come quickly because the workouts are so intense. They're trying to break people right here. Who's going to stay, who's going to leave. That's what's going on right now. And then when spring practice gets underway, this is the opportunity for the new guys and the old guys to kind of meet. The guys who may be redshirt, this is their first opportunity to get on the field, get on the roster. And so this is really intense. And, the whole coach speech is, nobody has a starting position yet. Everybody's competing for a job, even the quarterback, and they have an idea who those people are going to be.
Wow.
But yeah, this is an opportunity for them to understand what the team's going to look like in the fall, what things do we need to correct, and then also helps them kind of create their playbook. Once you know what kind of talent you have on your team, then you can do like this with the playbook and start creating a masterpiece that's going to work in the fall. And so you really want your guys to be going full speed, take it very seriously.
Well, CJ Duncan, it's always great content with you, even though a few of our viewers are a little skeptical because of your sweatshirt. Appreciate you guys not turning us off immediately when you saw that.
Listen, it's just a sweatshirt, guys.
Come on.
Listen.
I will say this. I don't expect to see them in the Super Bowl next year.
No, I don't either. Not the biggest fan. It's just a comfortable sweatshirt.
There you go. That's all.
Listen, I'm a college guy. In the NFL, I follow my buddies, and I follow good football. So
there you go.
I can be a Titans fan one day. I can be a Patriots fan the next. It's all good.
Always good. We appreciate you, CJ. Thanks a bunch.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Take care.
See you next week. CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News, joining us here today. He is actually in Montgomery. Of course, the legislature is in session. Saw a bunch of those guys last night, a bunch of the Road Builders Association, big group. So a lot of folks in town. Yeah. Glad to see that here in the capital city. Barry, getting a lot of information during the show today from some Vanderbilt fans besides CJ that were at the game at Neville Arena last night.
Where y'all going?
Said the crowd was a little, they just, has the energy left Auburn basketball? I mean, I know they're on a losing streak, but the Vanderbilt contingent that was there, I'm taking it, was not very impressed.
Yeah, they're like, where are y'all going?
Yeah.
Come on. You got to win. I mean, John says there were a smattering of empty seats, not too far away from a plethora, but still just a smattering of empty seats at Neville Arena.
When you see empty seats on the floor, that's an issue.
Now, again, for those people who said, oh, man, we've lost 3 in a row. We've lost 2 in a row at home. I'm not going to any more games. That means you never even knew about Jeff Lebo. You never knew about Tony Barbie, or who John always called Tony Barbie because Dave Neal called him that one.
That's right.
So it could be worse.
Did they hand out smoothies before the game last night, or was that just a weekend thing?
I cannot confirm.
Okay.
Although the weather was a little bit more, appropriate for smoothies than when everybody was wearing coats and jackets. Plainsman Preston, boy, he is hot on the chat line today. Woo! He says you can't charge $100 for a ticket when you're losing.
Good point.
You can't?
Wait a minute.
You can
Auburn
sure try.
basketball tickets are $100?
No, they're not. That's just Plainsman Preston.
No way.
Preston. More in a moment. Believe
Yes.
it or not, Josh Harris has carved out some time from his busy schedule to drop in with us next. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Ram Truck Month is here at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. New Rams, 19 grand off or 0% for 6 years. And heavy duties, 14 grand off. Backed by Ram's 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Only at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. The President's Day sales event is on at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. Grand Cherokees under 27 grand or up to 15 grand off. Wranglers, 14 grand off. And Gladiators, 16 grand off. Only at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Love is in the air, and so is your chance to win during Victoryland Casino's BMW and 25K giveaway. Drive away in a brand new BMW or win your share of $25,000 in free play. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Stop by the Players Club and fall in love with this month's exciting free play promotions. There's more ways to win at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino is located off I-85, exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings February 27th and 28th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
All righty, welcome back in, everybody. Top of the hour on this Wednesday. Very quickly before we get to Josh, did you see how I was able to squeeze in the example of a 1,200-yard rusher against crappy defenses, kind of like the Seattle defense being so great, but they didn't really play anybody?
I don't know why I ever even bothered years ago to even bring up, to even support John in his diatribe against former Auburn running back Cam Petway, who's a local guy.
Yeah, Millbrook.
From Millbrook, played college football at Auburn. His last year at Auburn was in 2017.
2017.
He left early. 2017, that's almost 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And his senior year, or his last year, he left early to go pro. His final year, he ran for 1,224 yards. Now, that's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. And at the moment, John says, yeah, but who did he run it against? I said, whoever's on the schedule.
Yeah.
You know, it's like anybody else on the schedule. And, man, John has worn
why I remember that, Barry? Because I believe it's one of the few stats that I actually looked up. And when it hit me that, whoa, wait a minute. The highest rated defense he ever faced was 84th, and that was Vanderbilt? Wait a minute. I could have rushed 1,200 yards against those types defenses.
He was, running through a Vanderbilt for 140 yards, and he's high-stepping past the linebacker into the second. He says, "Hey, man, I'm so sorry about this. I apologize. I got to do it. It's my job and everything." It's like he's doing it with apologies. "I'm so sorry. I ran for 1,224 yards that year." Y'all don't really pay attention to it because, it was a bunch of,
he'll live in Longshore McKnight lore.
Yeah.
Kind of like Cam. All right, Josh Harris is the money line magician. I haven't touched base with Josh. I've been very busy, but we appreciate him hopping on with us here today. Josh, how you doing?
Doing great. Joining you from beautiful Minneapolis, Minnesota. What a great place to be right now.
I did not have it. I'm in a hotel room myself, Josh, so I don't have my normal map of the United States and Canada where I can put a pin into where Josh is today. So I don't have Minneapolis on the bingo card today.
You see any ice agents yet, Josh?
Yeah, I was about to say it's cold and icy here.
I get it. It's cold. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. You can tell the company I work for really likes me by the places they send me,
Hey, somebody's got to go to Minneapolis, right? Got any volunteers?
All right, Josh, you're
Josh,
headed out there, buddy.
okay, yeah.
You make the best of this one.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Hey, taking one for the
team,
obviously.
All right. I don't know how to present this question, but was the Super Bowl good to you, Josh?
No.
Oh.
So I think the fact that we missed my picks last week was good for everybody. It was tough. I thought I was being a sharp going against everybody. Everyone was taking the Seahawks, and I decided to go with the Patriots and a bunch of prop bets, which if you took the over on any prop bets, you were in big trouble.
I can imagine.
Except we did have our group from high school all did take A.J. Barner first touchdown.
Oh, boy.
So that saved us a little bit. First touchdown in the fourth quarter, though, hitting that bet in the fourth quarter is pretty.
Yeah, you guys admit it. You guys had already given up on that one by then.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, whoa, hey, whoa. It's like,
we're back.
Well, Josh, don't feel so bad because I myself was on New England as well. The world was on Seattle. I thought, I'm going to grab the points. I got to tell you, I knew early I was on the wrong side.
Yeah, same. It felt really bad the entire game. It was pretty boring, obviously. I feel like a lot of the Super Bowls and not all of them have been a little boring recently. It was tough. It was not a lot going on. At least you had some entertainment in the halftime shows, at least whether you liked it or not, at least you were either mad or loved it. So there was, nobody was just chilling during the halftime show. They were riled up about something.
Yeah, that's usually the case. All right, the question we've all been waiting for. Needed to happen or travesty of justice, the Charles Bediako case. The Josh Harris take here.
I just think it's why him? Why is there's all these other people that have been doing it. Why do they have to single out him? And so and say that he is. I do think though the positive of it, taking away my bias, is they had to set an example with somebody, and maybe this will make them put some rules in place, because with international players, it's so tough, right? I mean, they play pro sports before they come over here all the time. And so what is that? They need to define it. And this is a great example. Now, the positive of all this is they said the selection committee is not going to consider the last 5 games. Now, we have 2 of our worst losses in the last 5 games. So I feel like, and we beat Auburn. So I guess, the Aubs are going to love that one, right? They're going to say it didn't count.
Get ready for that, Josh.
It's already
it's already happened.
I was about to say it ain't coming. It's already here. Yeah. So with all of it in its totality taken, now that we know the end result of that deal, was it worth it for Alabama?
No, it wasn't worth it. I mean, it wasn't worth it, and I think the NCAA and the judge probably did the right thing. The guy's been playing in the G League for 2 years, playing against pros. You can't come back to college. This isn't pro sports. They need to set an example. I hate that it had to happen to Alabama, but it was the right call. It was the right call.
The thing I wonder about, though, Josh, and I get it. I mean, there's a lot of opinions about this, and I've certainly been pretty vocal about it. But what about the guys that play in China or Germany or wherever that were paid? I mean, they are professionals. They were making money. Okay, they didn't go to college and they didn't sign an NBA deal, but they were getting paid. Is there any difference in that?
I think the difference is he's used his college eligibility.
Right.
And the level of competition that he's playing against is a different level of competition. But without it being defined, I don't think Alabama did anything wrong. I think they did what anybody else would have done and said, we're going to play this guy. If he's allowed to play, why would we not? We're here to compete, right? And sure, we had it. If they would have said, Charles Bediako, you can't come play at Alabama, Nate Oates would have said, we're not doing that. Nobody would have ever heard of that. That wouldn't have changed anything in the in the game. But now that it's been made public and it's been made such a big deal, maybe it will change some things. I think you just have to. You have to define in multiple different ways. It's the wild, wild west right now in everything college sports. We saw it in football. We're seeing it in basketball. You can't have, they've got to get it under control. And we could go on and on and on about the different areas that the NCAA's got to get control on. This is just one big piece of it. It's all, whether it's the rankings, who makes the playoffs, who makes March Madness, it's all up in the air. It's not defined. Every other sport you see in the world, it's defined. It's not up to political, it's not political on who makes the tournament. It's not up for discussion. It's here's your record, here's who you played, you're in or you're out.
So do you like the position Alabama is in now that they're without him and they know what their roster is? Does this look to you like a tournament team?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a tournament team. And they have tons of ability to make a run. And that's just kind of where we've been for the past couple of years is we can make a run. We just have to get hot at the right time. We're not a dominant team by any stretch of the imagination. We have holes, but I keep going back to this is the peak of Alabama basketball with Nate Oates. The things that we complain about now, we would have loved to have with Mark Godfrey, with Avery Johnson,
David Hobbs,
David
Hobbs, Anthony Grant,
right, Anthony Grant. This is the peak. So we better learn to enjoy it and enjoy not having to worry about making the tournament every year, but how high of a seed we're going to be, because we sure hadn't been like this previously before Nate Oates. So whatever we can do to get behind the team, enjoy where we are, it's a good place. So we have to continue to remember that.
But Josh, it's the converse with football. Made the college football playoff, played in the SEC championship game. A lot of schools would be whistling zippity doo-dah out of there. Well,
they were in the SEC championship.
They were participants. They showed up. They had the uniforms and they referees and a whole deal. But Alabama fans they're exactly the opposite. They don't appreciate that because they've had better and they've been better and they've done better than they have right now. It's exactly the converse of what you're talking about basketball.
It's the standards that have been set throughout the years. It's just natural. Now, in football, we expect more. We've been better. We are better. We're the best dynasty franchise football team ever in college football, and it's really undisputed. And we expect to be number one every year. And in basketball, we want to be top tier. We don't expect to be number one every year. We've never won a national championship. You can't be the best at everything, especially now with the NIL. It's going to be hard to be the best at everything, especially with the endowment that Alabama has. This is just reality right now, is that there's going to be no more dominating in college sports. It's just not going to happen. It's too even.
But a couple of things there, Josh. Are Bama fans going to be able to accept that, number one? And number two, what's going to stop a team like a Texas Tech, for instance, or an Indiana or the other Texas schools where there's so much money that they could be dominant? To me, if you have a dominant program that goes on a run similar to, say, what Alabama did, and it's all based on money and not going out and recruiting and working hard and getting these guys to come play for you and building a roster and building depth, people aren't going to like that so much, except the ones that are able to do it financially.
Yeah, it's a valid point. I mean, it will be interesting to see what happens with all these big paying teams, because so far you hadn't really seen it. Texas has had more money than they know what to do with. Texas Tech has had more money than they know what to do with. Texas A&M has had more money, right? And they hadn't been able to really get to the next level. But what it does do is it makes it so that with Alabama football, we used to get every good recruit, not just no matter how much money Texas has.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was the best. We used to get everybody good.
Just remember,
now,
John. Just remember to take deep breaths here, John. You'll be okay.
And now, even no matter how much money you have, you don't have enough money to go get everybody. You've got all this money going into the sport that you're not going to get. You've got Vandy getting top recruits now. I mean, it's just it's a new world that we live in. I don't think you're going to see someone just be completely dominant, but it's going to be even harder to be dominant across every sport.
So back to my first question. Is Bama fan going to be able to accept that, handle it, live with
Absolutely not. I mean, are you kidding me?
No, that's
way.
the easiest question you'll ever ask.
I mean, you know the answer to that question. We expect the best, and I think that's part of it, though. I think that's what it'll be interesting to see how that pans out, because you've got two sides of it. Usually when you expect excellence, you don't take anything else for an answer. So you keep pushing until you're excellent. The flip side of it is that your blood pressure is going to be through the roof till you get there, if you get there.
Yeah.
And you can't accept what you have at this point. But I think with DeBoer and the football team, it's just we did fine, but that was not Alabama. That was not Alabama. I mean, we were getting killed by teams. There's difference between being okay and then getting embarrassed. And we were embarrassed in games last year. And so I don't think that's ever going to fly. If we were losing by 1 or 2 in those games, 1 possession games, it was close. We looked like we had a team. We looked like we had momentum going in the right direction. Then it would be a whole different story. But it's the way that we lost those games, the teams that we lost to, that I think really is the reason that people are so upset. We're getting killed. That can't happen.
I noticed yesterday, I saw the schedule. It popped up somewhere. And Alabama should be 5-0 before they play Georgia. Then they reel off, it's Georgia, Texas A&M, Tennessee, LSU, I believe, are the 4 next up on the list. So that's there again, October is going to tell them a lot. There again, if they lose a game before they play Georgia, watch out. But they should be 5-0. Mississippi State, South Carolina, Kentucky, Florida State, East Carolina, who I don't know if I have them in the right order, but there's no excuse for not winning all 5 of those games.
100%.
If they lose one of those, forget it, because they're going to lose one of the next 4, if not 2 of the next 4. I know it's early, but that would be my opinion.
It's so crazy to hear people say that. It's true.
Yeah.
But can you imagine saying that 3 years ago? Well, we got an easy schedule, and now we're definitely going to lose 1. We might lose 2.
Yeah.
I mean, so I do think Bama fan is starting to understand a little bit more. It might take some time for Alabama fans to understand, but just a comment like that shows that they're starting to understand reality.
They're starting to empathize with every other college. Oh, this is what they're talking about. Okay, I get it.
I didn't think I'd ever see a day like that, quite honestly.
You were the one that said, John, all the kids out there, there's going to come a time when Alabama, all you kids just get ready because – John's lived through Ray Perkins, and he's lived through,
oh boy, Dennis Franchione, Mike Price, Mike Duba, Mike Shula.
One of these days they're going to
undefeated, baby.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Something defeated him. It's defeated a lot of good men.
He took a big L that I
defeated him.
Yeah,
for 1 in Pensacola, I can promise you
that.
But
Barry, that's just parenting. I was telling them that, okay, kids, it's not going to be like this forever. But when I walked out of the room, I said to myself, yeah, it is.
Right.
They bought it again. I can't believe it. Well,
Right. Just in case, y'all, just that was just more so you would live in the moment.
Yeah,
Not
I call that
what
good
you actually
parenting.
believed.
You got to let them know what could possibly happen just so they're aware of it. But you walk out there and go, well, they bought that again, hook, line, and sinker.
Well, Josh Harris, our Moneyline magician, always great to visit with you anytime we get a chance in your busy schedule.
Yes.
Appreciate it very much.
Y'all have a good day.
That's good.
You too, buddy. I think Josh might be scouting out locations, Barry. Isn't Alabama supposed to play Minnesota in football in a couple of years up there in Minneapolis? Maybe he's up there scouting locations or something.
Will that game ever be played?
Greg,
I mean,
Look, nobody wants to go up there. Just cancel that one. Cancel Oklahoma State.
They play at Minnesota in 2032. Let's see who. Oklahoma State, gone. Virginia Tech, gone. Notre Dame, whoa. Ohio State. Yeah. All right. Arizona, gone.
Yeah, forget Arizona. Who cares? Even though I would like to go out there to a game, I don't think those two teams have ever played, so I might keep that one. I might keep the Arizona series. Definitely one other series, Barry, you haven't mentioned. Cannot get rid of that one.
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
All right.
That's one.
Ohio State.
That's two.
Oh, Boston College.
Boston College.
There we go.
Got to keep Boston College. And I know what people are going, what? Boston College? What the heck are you talking about? Just go look at the history books.
Yeah.
Early 80s, early to mid 80s. You'll know what I'm talking about. A guy named Doug Flutie.
And they're coached by a guy who actually was part of a national championship winning staff at Alabama. Was he? Did he? Was that? Yeah. Was he that far in back where he was actually part of it? Bill
Didn't he
O'Brien?
have a nickname people got on his case?
Oh, yeah. B.O.B. I don't know. Well, when we come back, it's the Phantoms Daily Dog.
Yeah.
I think I need some credit here. Come on, way offsides, Jeff. Longshore had a legendary interview with Mike Price. I was in it too. I was there too.
Yeah, Barry was there.
I didn't actually, to be grammatically correct, it wasn't a question. John says, I don't think you're going to be able to win at Alabama. I don't think you're going to be successful at Alabama.
Yeah.
Change my mind. And he said, well, just come and watch us win. Yeah,
we actually played that clip a lot on our show back then.
Yeah.
And that was very due to the fact that we had some radio listeners back in the day that challenged us. Because I had been very critical of Mike Price, and that Bama fan didn't like hearing it. And they said, well, you won't say that to him when he comes on the air with you.
Right.
I said, wait, boom, happened. And the guy was fired 6 weeks later. Now, I didn't know that was coming. But I'm not going to take credit for it. Well,
yes, he is. Of course he is. Why not? That's a silly question. That's a silly statement. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Valentine's means Marguerites, and Marguerites has everything the special person in your life wants. Rings, bracelets, necklaces, earrings, pendants, and all shapes and sizes of diamonds. They have special gifts that will bring happiness and joy for decades and decades. For your convenience, Marguerites is open 7 days a week. So drop by and pick out a gift that will surprise the Valentines in your life. Marguerites is located at 8163 Vaughan Road in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli. At Marguerites, they make it. They really make it.
Hey, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You got a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light. Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here? Oh, Bud Light there. I missed that because of you. You did not miss that play because of me. Tough to stop talking this way? Yeah. It's actually kind of fun. Hey, I got your Bud Light. Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. What I miss? I have no idea.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. About 24 minutes past the hour here on a Wednesday. Let's get right to it. Here's the ugly truth, Barry. The dog got run over last night.
Yes.
I mean, this dog's not limping back home. This dog can't go to the vet and be and get healthy. This dog's done. You're digging a hole today. And it kind of goes like this, Barry. When you see, let me reel some names off to you.
All right.
Kobe Buffkin, Luke Kennard, Jackson Hayes, Jake Lavriva, and Rua Hachimura.
See, I've heard of every one of those guys.
Those were the starting five for the LA Lakers last night.
Well, Rui Hachimura is pretty good. Luke Kennard played at Duke. All right.
Hachimura, Barry, was 0 for 3 from the three-point line. Scored 6 points. The high score for the starting five for the Lakers, Luke Kennard, scored 14. When you look further down the box score and you look at who came off the bench, and Bronny James played 25 minutes last night, I'm thinking, this is not good.
Well, here's the deal. They were shorthanded last night against the Spurs. It's true.
Oh.
But in the first half, Spurs center forward Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
He's 7'4". He can shoot the three. He can dribble everything. Wembanyama had 25 points in the first 8 minutes against the Lakers. John, they were so bad defensively. This is the deal. The Lakers in the first half of that, it was over at that point. At halftime, the Phantom had already said there ain't no way.
Well, for halftime,
the first half,
we're down 17 after the first quarter.
And Wembanyama had 25 points in the first 8 minutes of the game.
Have you ever seen an NBA game when a team scored 47 in one quarter?
This is what I'm telling you, though, John. The Lakers have been around for decades and decades and decades. The old Minneapolis Lakers, George Mikan, Elgin. The Lakers last night, who were the Phantoms' pick,
they were.
The Phantoms' daily dog, had their worst defensive half in their history last night.
Horrible.
They gave up 84 points in the first half. Never has a Laker team ever given up 84 points in a half, and I'll go even one more. There was only one other time in NBA history where a team gave up that much. Ever. They were down 84-55 in the first half. Let's just say that the Phantoms' daily dog. Let's just move on. Not
to try to ease the pain, but with Friday's daily dog, our side scored 63 in the first half, which of course were the Detroit Pistons when they beat the New York Knicks 118-80. So we did have one, 4 or 5 days ago that kind of went the other way, but last night was absolutely horrible. And,
that's the worst. That's the worst I've ever seen.
It was just brutal how bad that was. And there again, you look at the box score and you're going, Bronny James. How'd the Lakers score 108 points is what I'd like to know. I guess the Spurs quit playing defense too. This is like an all-star game score. But there again, time to move on.
Yes.
And here's where we're moving on to. I will tell you, Barry, I looked at some SEC games today. I mean, a lot of teams are laying 7.5 tonight. Florida's laying the most. They're almost laying 10. I believe they're laying 9.5 at Georgia. In all the other SEC games tonight in college basketball, every other team, and Alabama's one of them. We're going to include the Tide because obviously they're playing tonight. But a lot of 7.5-point favorites. I'll give you an example. Tennessee's laying 7.5 at Mississippi State. A&M is laying 7.5 hosting Missouri. Alabama's laying 7.5 at Ole Miss. Florida's laying 9.5 at Georgia tonight. So I looked at some of these games. I thought, any of these of interest? I mean, Alabama laying 7.5 coming off of a big emotional win against their in-state rival on last Saturday. Then, of course, they had beaten A&M before that. They go on the road to take on an Ole Miss team that's lost 5 in a row. And they go on the end and lay 7.5. That's a big number to lay there. And, of course, the Charles Bediako situation, they're having there again, did he really help them out that much? I'm just not sure Alabama can cover the 7.5 tonight on the road at Oxford. They're Ole Miss is finally getting to play at home. They've lost 5 in a row. Alabama coming off a big win. We think is too much tonight, Barry. We're going to take the Rebels of Ole Miss to at least get a number of 7.5. Too many for the Tide to lay on the road coming off the emotional win against their in-state rival.
Was it emotional? I mean, did it really matter? Did it really mean anything extra? I mean, it was just Auburn, Chris the Bammer says, Ole Miss will cover and they'll win the game outright. Bama will lose.
Chris.
Yep. Now, we have had something happen here, and we love it. This is not a criticism. Sometimes,
so official, just to make it official, Ole Miss plus the 7.5 tonight is the Phantoms Daily Dog, 6 p.m. SEC Network.
This is not a criticism. I love it. I am so happy with this. But we've had a record set today.
Okay.
Plainsman Preston is the first person ever on the on Longshore and McKnight who has gotten to 60 chats in one show.
Hey, you go,
60.
Preston.
Yeah, he's at 61.
Look
We've never had anybody get to 60. Plainsman Preston has just blown by that one with still a half hour left in the live show.
Yeah.
There's no, we've never had anybody get to 60, and he has gotten to 60 quick. So
now, Preston, did you call?
Preston.
Did you chat? Oh, did you get on the River Region Straw chat line while you were in the shower? How'd that work?
I don't know that he really actually.
He didn't really take a shower. He just said he was.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he says he's trying. They've said something before about rankings or something. I have no idea what all of that stuff is. We just read them as they go. So many thanks for your support and your viewership and all that. While you're at that, while everybody's chatting and in our little community that we're so proud of, John, how about hit that like button? How about hit that subscribe button?
Yes.
They say it helps us.
Something called algorithm.
Yeah.
So hit the like, hit the subscribe, tell your friends, tell your associates, tell your church members, whoever you hang out with, let them know, hit it, and we greatly appreciate it. Of course, you can check us out at Yellowhammer News and yellowhammernews.com. You can check out their Facebook page. We're there. Of course, there's video content, a write-up about the show each and every afternoon. Also on Facebook, on YouTube. Just go to the search bar, type Longshore and McKnight.
Yep.
Spotify, Apple Tunes, X, Instagram. We're all over the place.
It's great. We've enjoyed it. and we've got a lot more still to come.
And of course, Barry, we appreciate the love and support when we hear comments like, "Hey, when you guys going to add a third hour?" I don't know who's been in our secret meetings that we get when we talk with the suits, but just hold on. I just don't want to say any more than that, but just hold on.
Well, let's see. We've got the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel coming up. There's a couple of things, that I want to address. That'll probably be on the topic wheel. Tiger Woods' son, his name's Charlie. He's 17. He goes to the Benjamin School in Palm Beach, Florida. And he's about to go to college. I had a buddy of mine say that he was going to go to Alabama. Turns out he is committed to play golf at Florida State. Yep, I knew it. I've already jumped into the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel stash over there, so I apologize for that. Florida State, he's the number 9 rated golfer in the class of 2027. I don't know if he's a 5-star or not. I don't know, but Tiger went to Stanford. Tiger has a daughter named Samantha. She's a freshman at Stanford. Charlie's going to go to Florida State. Also, so I don't know. Florida State golf, don't know much about him.
Barry, you mentioned golf, and on our River Region Straw chat line earlier, I know it's been tough. Vandy has kind of had Auburn's number in a lot of sports recently, and Auburn's on a 3-game losing streak in basketball. But somebody pointed out that the Auburn golf team shot minus 77 under in some tournament they're playing in. I did not know that.
That sounds like Gurn Senior's team score in the scramble down there at, you're thinking minus 70. Auburn's men's golf is all that. They got a guy named Jackson Coyvin, who may be the best amateur golfer in the country.
Yeah.
Great and all that. That may be on there. One other thing two other things real quick, wanted to get to. The numbers are in on the Super Bowl. It was extraordinarily boring. The overall Super Bowl ratings are down slightly. Last year was the record. John couldn't tell you who was in the Super Bowl last year. Last year was the record. Averaged this year 125 million viewers. Averaged 125 million viewers. Hey, our game got 24 million viewers. Yeah, NFL averaged 125 million, which is down slightly from last year's record number, but it did set a new high for peak viewership with 137.8 million tuning in during the second quarter. You know why that was the peak? It's always the peak. 137.8 million tuning in. Everybody was getting ready for the halftime show.
What were the numbers for the halftime show?
No, that I don't know. When we,
I did not watch. I mentioned that Monday. I did not watch the halftime show. They got to get some acts that I know of. I don't know any of these people.
John, you don't know any of them that's from 25 years ago. John thinks contemporary music is Nirvana.
All right, so they've had Prince on, who was really good. They've had Paul McCartney, who was really good. They had the Rolling Stones that were really good. Yeah, they might have piped some of that music in, but hey, they were still good. Trying to think of some other ones back in the day that I thought were really good.
Okay, let me go through this and give me a yes, no. All right. The first one, like the second one at halftime, it was the Grambling Marching Band.
Yeah. Well, was that game in New Orleans?
Yeah, that was it actually had Grambling a couple times.
Okay.
Up with People in 1982. They really Chubby Checker in 1988. Yeah. Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
In 93 in Pasadena.
Okay. All right.
In Atlanta, when they had it at the Georgia Dome in 94, Clint Black, Tanya Tucker, Travis Tritt, and the Judds.
When's the last time they've had some country acts at the Super Bowl? Been a minute.
I want to say they had what's his name, Chris Stapleton or something like that.
What about Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson? The breast reveal.
That was in Houston in 2004. McCartney and of course that was the big deal. They had, she had the unfortunate costume problem.
Yeah, dress malfunction.
So they kind of went with traditional dependable acts, because the next year in Jacksonville it was Paul McCartney. Then the year after that it was the Stones. Then the year after that it was Prince. Then the year after that it was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Yeah.
Then it was Bruce Springsteen.
Well, I could have done
and people were saying, "Come on, boomers, let's get somebody the kids know." Then it was Madonna, the Black Eyed Peas, Beyonce, Bruno Mars, who I like, Katy Perry, Coldplay. They had Coldplay, Lady Gaga, Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, Barry, I think we're turning into our parents when we were back in our late teens and early 20s watching MTV, and they were going, "What's that trash you're watching on TV? What is that devil music you're listening to?" And now today, I feel like I'm my parents. I don't know any of these acts. I don't hear them. I don't have any
And
clue
John
who they
doesn't
are.
care to know any of
Barry,
these acts.
My music is on 80s on 8, classic vinyl,
Yacht
classic
rock,
rewind, and yacht rock. Yeah, I mean, that's what I listen to on XM radio. I mean, so I'm thinking, why can't we have some of these acts in the Super Bowl?
Gosh, I can smell the Vic Sav coming through the television screen here. It's unbelievable.
Oh,
More to
man.
come in just a moment. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. Many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
All righty, back at it here. About 18 minutes to the top of the hour. Bama and Ole Miss tonight, part of 4 SEC games. Lucky for me, Bama's at 6 o'clock, so I don't have to stay up and watch the late tip, which is Tennessee at Mississippi State, then Missouri at Texas A&M. Those are the 2 8 o'clock games. Florida at Georgia and Alabama at Ole Miss, the 6 o'clock games. I wonder how they decide, Barry, who gets on ESPN2 and who gets on the SEC network?
They got some suit. They got some suit up there. They have. I just envision a big conference room where, all the guys, they all look like they're a Mad Men. Smoking the cigarettes, and let's put them on. People think, well, we have a greater rating, or I don't care. There's a. I tell you, put them on the news, put them on ESPN, put these guys on Deportes, and boom, let's go. We're done. I don't think they spend as much time on it as people think they do.
Yeah, throwing dart. What time do the Trojans tip tonight?
7 o'clock tonight here in San Marcos, Texas, against Texas State. Again, Troy's in first place in the league. They're the only team in the league that has had 2 wins over top 55 net teams, including Saturday against Akron and a win at San Diego State. So, but Texas State is 13-1 at home, so it should be
wow,
a really good game. So,
one other thing about the Auburn game last night, how did this skip my mind? Because when I saw it, I went, uh-oh, here we go. A technical foul last night in the game, which always gets my attention. Whenever there's somebody getting teed up, I'm going, oh, here we go. And I want to say maybe this might have been an instance where maybe the Auburn player said something to the official in this, because when they replayed it back, a foul was called. And then I want to say maybe an Auburn player didn't really like it and said something to the official, and that's when he blew his whistle and teed him up.
It was on Philip Jovic, the freshman who's like 22. He got a technical foul.
What's wrong with being 22 and a freshman? Hold on.
Well, but this is his first year in college. Other people are 22 and a freshman and are still in their third year. Jovic got an F1 foul, one of those where he was a little bit more active than he should have been. It was Keyshawn Hall who got the technical.
Okay.
Hall got the technical with about 15 minutes to go. And again, he didn't play in the final 12 minutes of that game. So were they related? You made the call. Stephen Pearl said we went with the guys that we thought would give us a better chance to win the game. Over the last two games.
Yep.
And again, this game, just to reiterate, just so everybody's clear, there was a major foul on Philip Jovic. That's an F1. That results in a foul, free throws, and possession. There was a technical foul on Keyshawn Hall in the second half, and there was a technical foul on the team in the second half with 1:42 to go, all of which hurt. Now, Auburn has been hit over the last two games, Alabama, Vanderbilt. Auburn has been hit with 5 combined technical and flagrant fouls over the last two games. Stephen Pearl says we've got to do a better job of controlling our emotions.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
What is that? He's not losing control, and Keyshawn Hall has had a couple of those. So
well, maybe that's why he rode the pine a little last night.
Still, your team is fighting to win a game at home, which you really, really need. You don't want a 3-game losing streak. You haven't lost at home to Vanderbilt in 10 years. You're battling back. You've got 45 in the second half, and you don't have your best player out there? I mean, make him run afterwards.
Yeah.
Make him, I don't know, wake up early and, run hills or something. Don't do that, man. Come on. You need to win this game, Stephen.
I see where Stephen Pearl was mic'd up, wore a microphone for the game last night. I don't know why. I mean, if they're going to do some 30 for 30 on him or some SEC.
War Eagle Plus.
Yeah. War Eagle Plus, yeah. Wait a minute. War Eagle Plus, and I'm not a subscriber? How do you get in? Wait a minute.
John immediately looks at his budget and shifts over from one particular monthly fee to another.
War Eagle Plus. I got to look into that. Anyway,
yes,
he's mic'd up last night, and he claims that the official teed him up because he cursed at him. And he's going to go back and listen to the audio to see if, in fact, that actually did happen. Now, wait a minute. You're telling me these basketball refs are so sensitive they can't. I mean, listen, there's some words you can't use, and you can't use them in a sentence directed toward their mother or their wife or their
Sometimes
children.
their mother is actually involved in the curse word.
So
it actually is
I get that. I mean, don't say anything about somebody's mother, wife, or children. That's kind of our rules here on this show. I don't care what you say about me, but just don't talk about them. Their dog's not in the fight, so to speak. Anyway, so, I mean, are you telling me, look, these and there again, the fans are right there. They hear what these coaches are saying.
The kids.
Yeah. So I don't want these refs to get, well, he cussed at me, I'm going to tee him up. Come on, refs. We talk to football officials. Football officials hear it all the time, and I don't see them throwing flags on the coach cussed at me, I'm going to throw a flag at him.
Yeah. The best one I ever heard, I can't remember the coach. I think it might have been Valvano. Okay. I know the referee was Hank Nichols. Of course, Valvano's not been with us for many years now, so it was a long time ago. Yep. Hank Nichols, who was the chief referee in all of college basketball, he was working a game, and end of the game wasn't going his way, and Nichols told Valvano to shut up or I'm going to tee you up. And Valvano says, well, can you tee me up for what I think? And Nichols says, no, I can't tee you up for what you think. And Valvano says, well, good, because I think you suck. One of my fans, Nichols didn't give him a technical because he said that was too good. That was too good. He got me on that one. When we come back, it's the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. As we wrap up our Wednesday show, it's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Ram Truck Month is here at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. New Rams, 19 grand off or 0% for 6 years. And heavy duties, 14 grand off. Backed by Ram's 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Only at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. The President's Day sales event is on at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. Grand Cherokees under 27 grand or up to 15 grand off. Wranglers, 14 grand off. And Gladiators, 16 grand off. Only at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Love is in the air, and so is your chance to win during Victoryland Casino's BMW and 25K giveaway. Drive away in a brand new BMW or win your share of $25,000 in free play. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Stop by the Players Club and fall in love with this month's exciting free play promotions. There's more ways to win at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Located off I-85 exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings February 27th and 28th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
All right, here we are back at it. About 9 minutes to go until the top of the hour here this morning. And
before we get into the topic wheel,
okay.
Again, we lamented the loss of now the late great Motor City Bowl, which is one of three that have just hit the skids in the last year. John, very astutely, he knows his college football history, said, didn't it start out as the Cherry Bowl? And he's right. And I said, I don't know what the association is with Michigan and cherries. Maybe, I don't know what it was. Our buddy Gary Gallant, who is our Canadian, one of our Canadian viewers, he is on the Detroit River in Amherstburg, Ontario, Canada. Loves us. Great guy. One of my favorite human beings. He texts me and he says, cherry production in Michigan is a major part of the agriculture industry in the state.
You have it.
Harvesting over 90,000 tons of cherries each year, Michigan is the leading producer of tart cherries. Gary, appreciate you watching as always. Our Canadian viewership always means a lot to us.
We appreciate that, Barry. An unheralded ice cream flavor is cherry vanilla. I know people don't go for it, But cherry vanilla is a really good ice cream flavor. Try it out sometime.
I like cherries. I like vanilla. The only thing is the cherries, when you hit them, you got vanilla, but the cherries are in there, and obviously they're frozen. Man, you hit that frozen cherry, it's like,
Not if you get Haagen-Dazs cherry vanilla. I'm telling you, I'm a big Haagen-Dazs fan. I wait for it to go on 2 for $1 because it is a little expensive. But when you buy one, get one free, I am loading up. It usually happens on Wednesdays at Publix, as a matter of fact.
I'm just here to tell you, listen to John when he's talking college football history. Listen to John when he's talking about 80s music. Listen to John when he's talking about ice cream. These are things that he is like, the expert on. Okay.
There are a few things in life that I do have a weakness for. I can't mention all of them, but one of them is ice cream.
Yes. Okay. We have a weakness for the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel, all brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22, I-85 in Shorter, Alabama. John and I don't know what any of these are. They're curated and researched by our producer, Gurn Jr. And speaking of Gary Gallant, my friend from Amherstburg, Ontario.
Yep.
Oh, Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah. U.S. Olympic ice hockey. First ever shutout at the games over Canada. Now, this is ice hockey, but it is women's ice hockey. Just to make sure you know, it's the ladies playing. The U.S. beat the snot out of Canada in Milano 5-0. We had somebody at dinner last night with the basketball team says, "Hey, I heard the Canadians beat us 5-0." I said, no. Canada got beat.
Barry, in football comparison, that's like 42-0.
Yeah. All right. So, historic day. It was a big day yesterday for everything for Team USA. 5 medals, 5 different sports yesterday, 3 silvers in curling, which I love, free skiing, cross-country skiing, and 2 bronzes, 1 in luge and 1 in alpine skiing. John and I can do an entire segment on the luge.
Yeah.
What is that? That's one guy lying back on a cafeteria tray. How much skill does it take to lay back and go down something at 80 miles an hour? Anyway, back at it.
And the thing about it, maybe this is on the wheel, but some Norwegian skier admitted to having an affair during his.
Yeah, they interviewed him. He won bronze. The guy won bronze, and he says, "While I'm here, I cheated on my girlfriend. I hope she realizes what a geek I am and how much I love her by embarrassing myself like this, but I really want her back."
Wow.
We'll keep you updated. Yeah. This one, I say no chance.
I don't like your chances, buddy.
The patch.
Yeah.
What?
What we got here?
Beloved Muni in Augusta? Let's see. Local golfers. The patch. The Augusta Municipal Golf Course.
Uh-huh.
This is the Muni. This is where, guys show up in jean shorts and everything.
That's right.
Augusta National has stepped in. They have made it to refashion the course and provide jobs for they're reopening
There you go.
Now, which one's Augusta National? Which one's the patch? I don't know. Can somebody point which one?
Well, it's the one on the right is not Augusta. I know that because that's not what the layout looks like.
Oh, this is what they're doing. Okay, this is the patch before, and this is the patch after. You can tell your buddies, I played in Augusta.
Yeah.
Yeah, $25 for 18 on the weekdays, $35 on the weekend. If you're non-resident, $85 and $95. Yeah, I played in Augusta. Yeah, it was Augusta, municipal golf course.
Okay.
All right, there you go. I like that.
That's awesome.
Good for Augusta National to throw a bone or two.
Yeah.
At their less fortunate
there you go.
Patriots. Back at it. Here we go.
Coming up soon, the Masters. We got 4 more to go. We got to hustle.
Yeah, we got to go. We got to go. What do we got? Breakfast downstairs at the hotel. It ends.
Yeah, the front desk has been calling you all morning.
Yes, they have. I finally unplugged my phone. I was hoping that wasn't audible. Who's your Scott?
Who's your Scott?
Oh, which other?
What? Is this the Olympic mascot?
Those they're stoats, which are kind of like ferrets.
Okay.
And I mean, the stoats are out to get you. These things They're also called ermines. And they're fur. These things are cute and cuddly, but they will come after you, man. They are aggressive as heck. That looks like something from.
Well, who had the worst Olympic mascot?
Atlanta.
Yeah, terrible.
You remember it was called What's It or Who's It or something like that. It was the
terrible.
worst.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I like that. That's pretty generic. But
Yeah.
they've got Olympic stoats now, and everybody's looking. What the heck is a stoat?
Yeah, stoats.
All right, here we go.
Let's go back and see what we got here.
That's hideous.
Good stuff there.
That's 96. Yeah, that's it. What was that?
That's
What's it?
Yeah,
the
come
heck
on.
Is that?
Get
All
a
right,
little
back
bit more
at it.
creative than that.
Let's get
All
to
right,
it.
let's see what
Here
else
we
we
go.
got.
All right.
Get away. That breakfast
we can
bar
get
is
it.
calling.
Yeah, man. We got
3 to go. Let's yellow, blue, and red. Victoryland open 24/7, 365, where you can be a winner too. Pebbles Picks. Yes, it's the AT&T this week out at Pebble Beach.
Oh, I thought it was Pebbles, like who sang Mercedes Boy many years ago. Justin Thomas, Rory McIlroy. These are all the Patrick Cantlay.
Oh, okay.
Might we get a pick from you on Friday? Say about
I don't know about me, but
tomorrow.
I would think our man at Destin Connection, Range Pro, probably was going to get back into the golf selections.
Even better.
Yeah.
Even better.
I
Pearson
like
Cootie.
Pebble Beach.
All right, guys. All right, we're back at it. Here we go. I didn't realize it was this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend. Down in California, could be a little cold up there in Northern California.
Did you play Pebble when you were
I
out
have.
there?
I have. No. I was in Southern California, but I have played Pebble Beach before.
Yeah.
Deja vu. Deja vu.
That was a Diana Ross.
Yeah,
Justin Verlander. This is his 21st year, maybe a 3-time Cy Young Award winner. 21st year. He got drafted by the Tigers in 2004. He was there for like 13 years, won all those Cy Youngs. 1-year deal for Verlander to come back. Tarek Skubal, who's the back-to-back American League Cy Young Award winner, he's pumped about it. I think that's a big, big deal. The first official workout for Tigers pitchers and catchers is underway. So this is going to be good. I'm glad the Tigers
you
did
say
that.
so.
One more. But we got a lot of Detroit on the program today, and I have no idea why. Sometimes Detroit. Yep. Tanking. This is a thing. This may be a thing with the Phantoms' absolute flame out last night because they didn't play hardly any starters. John went over Rui Hachimura and Luke Kennard because they're tanking. Some of these teams, no, they're not going to make the playoffs.
Yep.
So they're not playing hard. They are tanking games to try to get better seeding in the upcoming NBA draft.
I still blame them.
Monday night, the Jazz suffered a setback in Miami. They won. That's right. The Jazz won. They didn't want to win. They tried everything they could not to win.
Yeah.
Utah had a 3-point lead, and then they benched 3 starters, and they still won. Now the Jazz, they're screwing up their chances to get the number 1 pick, and they're not even trying anymore. Yet they're still selling tickets. Hey, come watch us play. People are paying their hard-earned money to go watch a team try to lose. That's bad. That's bad.
Hey, I get it, though. It's business. We got to get ourselves in a better position to win, and we ain't got it now.
But hey, you season ticket holders, glad you're here. Come watch us lose.
Maybe that's why there was a smattering of empty seats at Neville Arena last night.
Yeah, fixing to be a plethora if they don't beat if they don't beat Arkansas on Saturday. Thanks to CJ Duncan.
They're ready to throw it. So
they've got scrambled eggs down there. They were pretty good yesterday. I got to hit that pretty soon, like right now here at the Fairfield Indian Suites in San Marcos, Texas. Thanks to CJ Duncan. Thanks for Josh Harris, our Moneyline magician. Big show planned for tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover, Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, brought to you exclusively by the Destin Connection Seafood Market.
And we enjoy our visit with them. We enjoy you as well.
Yeah.
For our producer, Gurn Jr., John Longshore, Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented